Greetings, everybody. Patrick here, 8 Questions With, and we are here on a Friday. That's right. We are closing down a terrific week. Uh, we've had some great shows this week, and we're going to end it on a high note by welcoming back our good friend Mitch Laing, our favorite Louisiana filmmaker. He's going to be coming here along with makeup artist Drew Hill, and we're going to be talking all things Bogman. We met Mitch when he released his film The Bogman, and then we talked to him when he did the sequel called Sea of Madness. Um, and now he is getting ready for the Bog anthology, which is going to be really fun. I think it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. Um, and he's also got some he's got some other things. He also released a movie called The Rake Investigations, which I did watch and review. My review will drop tonight at midnight. You know how we do it here. We never do reviews before we do the interview, just in case I slip up and say, "Are you kidding?" So I want to get the interview in first, but no. No fears. We are looking forward to talking to Mitch. Um, he's one of the nicest guys too, and it's going to be a lot of fun catching up with him. And I can't wait to meet his makeup artist. He's got a real talent for that. This will be the second one that we've met. We saw her first with the Rake Investigations, and the makeup in that movie is really well done, very well done. And if you saw the picture of the interview with Mitch and the green covered creature, that was Drew Hill's work. That makeup, the lizard, that's her work. Amazing looking. Can't wait to talk to her as well as with Mitch. All right, so of course, as far as the films world goes, the big deal is today is the first date of the Odyssey. Wow, I never thought we have a small little, like tiny very tiny connection. Yeah, Shiloh Fernandez is in that movie, and we had him here with talking with Brendan Gabriel Murphy about Flux, and we couldn't really talk about the Odyssey because he was an NDA. But and I keep saying this, but this is how big this movie is. Shiloh Fernandez is a good actor and one that works a lot. I mean, a lot. I still got to set up an interview with him one on one though. And he said that when he got the call, the one thing he said, the one thing I just want to make the cut. I just you don't want to end up on the cutting floor on a movie like this. You don't want to end up like having your part cut. It's such a big movie. If you have a couple scenes in it, your legacy is there. There it is. Joe Smith right there, James Smith right there. So it looks like that movie is already going to make back its production money back in the very first weekend. It was made for $250 million, directed by Christopher Nolan, and they're saying that it will make back its money back in the first weekend alone. And the reviews have just been outstanding. It looks to be this is going to be the Oscar race is going to end it's going to end early. It seems like the Odyssey will probably be the one that's going to walk in and take over everything. Me, I'm taking a wait and see attitude because I love Troy. I thought Wolfgang Peterson did an awesome job with that movie. I watch that thing about once a year. I think it's terrific. It's a really fantastic film. I want to see how he does, considering that Troy was actually based, set in reality, where there's no gods or monsters. It was just straight out historical Nola's going through Homer's, with the Cyclops and the Medusa and Circe, and he's doing more of a straight fable fairy tale. And I guess that's all right. I mean, that's one way to look at it. You have Jason and the Argonauts, right? You got some other films that are out there that feature the work of Ray Harryhausen that made them very popular even up to today. I'm just not one of those, as you guys know, not being a contrarian, by the way, but I'm not one of those that jumps immediately on the bandwagon, like, oh my God, no, I take the wait and see attitude. Now I do know that I'll be getting a copy of this movie. That's a forgiven. That's a given right there. I'm sure the library will be bringing 20 copies to play, and so I'll probably get one. I'll probably get my copy that way. Um, that's all right though, right? Don't No one's gonna harsh my mellow for that. But I'm curious to see how to me right now it just seems like everybody and the grandpa is jumping on the bandwagon. Oh my, it's sort of like it's sort of like an A24 movie. Oh my God. It's like, okay, it's a good movie, but he's got $250 million, one of the greatest casts assembled. Um, how could he fuck it up? I mean, it's too big to fail. That movie's too big to fail. Coming off of Oppenheimer, um, I mean, any movie that he did after Oppenheimer was going to get this kind of response. I don't care what anybody says about that, but that's exactly what happened. If he would have came out here and made Supergirl, Supergirl will be getting loved on right now, just like the Odyssey would, because Christopher Nolan did it. So I'm just taking a wait and see attitude. So hey, let's see. Tony is here, says just got sick from the sky. Yeah, that's yeah, we still got ours. Ours is loosening up though. It's still hazy, but it's not nearly as orangey as it has been. So that's good. That's good. All right, so let me tell you what's going on the calendar. Yeah, okay. So far, if you guys missed our show last night with Alexander uh, Pimento and the Future of Film Foundation crew, man, you need to hit the replay button and don't let the StreamYard glitches just turn and just listen to it if you have to. If the visuals get a little bit like, damn, because we got glitched to hell yesterday. Oh my lord. Oh, if someone got glitched out, it's like they took somebody with them. So I was adding people left and right for the most part of the show. And the thing what it was if that had been Los Angeles, I would have just like, yeah, par for the course. But it was in Colorado, and we're still being bumped all over six ways to Sunday. I don't know what happened. But we still had an excellent show. It is a little longer because I had 7 guests, so I wanted to give each of them a chance to talk and to shine. So I thought we did that pretty well. Um, it was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing their new film projects come up and hit the airway. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Uh, uh, and tomorrow, I mean, so we got Mitch today. Let's see. On on the 21st, I'm not really sure what's happening. I'm supposed to be having a guest named Jay McTaggart here, but I haven't heard from him since he said he was going to do it. I've been trying to reach out to him and going like, "Hey, you want to come on?" So if I don't hear from him by Sunday, there won't be a show on the 21st. I'm just gonna. And yeah. Uh, Oh my gosh, yeah. This week was Polonia week. I dropped 5 Polonia reviews on my channel, and I went over there and dropped them on the Polonia Pals Facebook page. Very well received. Thank you so much for that. The Polonia Pals rolled out and like, yeah, yeah. I even asked a question. I said, is 1 week, 1 week a year good for Polonia Pals, or Polonia week? Or would you like to see 2 weeks a year? And people were sitting there going like, yeah, we get into 2 weeks. So I guess from 6 months from now, we will be doing that. We'll be doing that again. We'll be doing Mark Polonia week. And because he's got plenty of movies that we have not watched yet, and by time that the 6 months come by, there will probably be another 20 out there that are still that will be have been released. Hey Jerry, how are you, sir? Um, yeah, man, you missed a good one yesterday. That was a crackling one yesterday. But you got replay. Um, I will say this. I know this is gonna sound so selfish. This is gonna sound so selfish, but so me and Eric, man, we're fighting it, right? Because we've been frozen for a long time, him and I. But lately, it seems like we have been, it seems like we. Oh well, you got any smoke your way? We got the last of it over here, lifting up. But I know Wisconsin is crushed. Lady Valerie said that their air quality is still for shit. Uh, we have smoke in the air, and you can definitely taste it, but it's not nearly as bad as it was a couple of days ago or even yesterday. So hopefully that means that they've gotten on top of the fires. I haven't looked. So let's see. Oh, okay, okay, it's better. Yeah, okay, so it's better here too. So, but it's still burning. I mean, sitting here in my room and I can still feel it. It's in my eyes. It's still there. Um, so 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 me and Eric from Hit Internet, it's Eric. He and I are climbing for the 2000 mark. So we've been stuck in the 1800s. It feels like we fought the Civil War. We're still stuck in the 1800s. Um, man, uh, it would be awesome. Like I said, I feel weird about this. It would be awesome if you guys could share us out a little bit. Um, him and I, because we'd love to hit 2000 by the end of the year. I know, right? The simple things, right? But we would really love that. We like to somehow, some way, get to 2000. But while you guys are thinking about that, let's go get our guests, Mitch and Drew, and get this party started.
How's it going, Patrick?
Greetings, greetings. How are you, sir?
Great, great.
Okay. Uh, you know what? Why do I think he told me? Oh my God, I think he. Okay, no biggie. I, I'll have to ask him. But how are you, sir? Glad you are here.
Good, good. Just been working on a new film. Last few weekends, and another again at the end of this month. So been kind of busy.
That's good. That's good. I'm gonna see if I can turn this up just a tad.
Yeah, let me turn this up.
All right. Wow. So I saw some of your work. Um, I saw some of your work. In fact, I used the picture of Mitch with the lizard that you made up as the banner for this interview. That looked freaking amazing.
Oh yeah, with the alien, the reptilian.
Yes.
Our makeup artist actually painted that.
You did.
They painted that on one of our actors.
Oh, I thought that was your work.
No, no, no. I do all the social media. Take care of the website, the YouTube channel, all that stuff, and I do the podcast with Mitch, the OHP podcast.
Okay, so who's the new makeup artist that he? I mean, he must be bringing it with him then. Is she?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure because I thought that he was gonna bring 'cause I thought he was gonna bring. He said he's gonna bring his new makeup artist. So
Maybe he might
you
be. I'm
handle
not
you
sure.
handle so you handle Mitch's podcast. You and Mitch do a podcast together, and
Right.
then you handle the social media. Okay, all right. Well,
Right.
you know what? That works for me. That works for me. I'll say hi to everybody in the chat. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there is Mitch.
There he is.
Hello, gentlemen.
Greetings, greetings. How are things in Louisiana?
It's fucking hot and humid as shit.
Is it hot in Topeka?
I don't know if it's hot in Topeka, but it's 100 fucking degrees on neutral out here right now.
Holy shit, man! Yeah, I mean, I thought about that. I'm going like, man, it's got to be. Well, you guys got sort of lucky though, because I don't think you didn't get any of that forest fire smoke, did you?
I don't know what you consider lucky, Patrick.
Trust me when I tell you, you got lucky. If you didn't get it, you got lucky. That thing looked like hell was rolling in. I was doing an interview with a journalist on Monday, and I'm sitting there when we first went on. It was a perfectly blue sky, perfect, and we get into it about an hour and a half, and I'm noticing that all of a sudden it's getting much darker here than normal. And I look outside my den window here in my office. I look over there, and it is orange, orange. And if I didn't know any better, you would have thought that there had been a fire right down the street from me. But it turned out to be that was the fire from Canada and Minnesota, and it's just been coming down here and just sitting here. And
Well,
it is so hard to breathe.
the heat outside is so bad that it feels like there is a fire right next door to me.
Yeah, but you know what? I do believe you told me the secret. You told me the secret of Louisianans, how they cool off, and that is they go down to the swamp, they grab a gator, they put the gator over their head, like sort of like to cool off. You guys are still doing that, right?
Well, the gators are less and less to be found nowadays.
Right.
Oh shit! Because of the pythons.
I don't know what the reasoning is, but you're seeing less and less gators now.
Wow, that's underreported. I know I know in Florida, man. In fact, I just read this. A couple hours ago. So down in Florida, like they're doing. They have pythons. Are just like insane in Florida, right? They got they basically are squeezing out literally the population of every wild animal there, and it's moving up north. And every once a year they have a python hunt, and you go out there and you kill as many pythons as you can. They estimate there's 250,000 of them, that son of a bitches down there.
You know,
And so they have,
in the third season of the TV show that we did, Rednecks for Hire, 2 of the episodes were about a snake hunt that the rednecks had to do because there was so many snakes. They had a competition once a year where however many snakes, the most snakes, biggest snakes, longest snakes, like they go out there and kill snakes and come
yeah,
weigh them in.
yeah, they're doing that here for real in Florida. They go ahead and they have like different categories, like the pros, the amateurs, whatever. They may kill maybe 500-600 snakes, maybe, but
And in West Texas, they have a rattlesnake roundup where they go round up
yeah,
all these rattlesnakes because there's a lot of them.
Those some crazy motherfuckers.
Right.
yeah, rattlesnakes have their place. They do have their place in the ecosystem. It's a really barbaric thing to do. Pythons don't have any. There's nothing good about a python.
Yeah.
They don't contribute anything. Rattlesnakes kill rodents that carry diseases. Rattlesnakes are our friend. Um, pythons ain't nobody's friend.
Yeah. So, Patrick, you have watched the Rake investigation at this point in time, right?
I have, and I have put my review up, which is going to drop tonight.
Awesome.
Awesome, awesome.
So I watched it, and I had a lot of fun with it. I thought I, you know what? I liked it a lot. I felt I thought it was a very interesting. I thought it was very interesting. Definitely had the had the Blair Witch theme to it. You know the found footage theme, and everybody got lines. Um, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I wish. I mean, as far as that goes, I thought you did a good job too, Mitch. You know, I thought your performance was better in that than Sea of Madness.
Do you want to know what the difference is?
What's the difference?
Shrooms.
So that means you didn't do shrooms for rake investigations?
Oh no! On the Rake investigation, I was on shrooms the entirety of every second you saw me on screen.
Now, how did that work as far as now as far if you're just acting wise, that's one thing, but you also directed. So how did directing on shrooms? How what was that like for you?
Well, we can get into this more in the interview, but if you rewatch the movie, you'll see that I did not direct this movie.
Oh, you did you really? Well, I mean, no, I know some directors say they don't direct, but we know behind the scenes they really are.
Well,
So I thought,
I produced the movie, and I was on set with the director Toby Otero is the guy that did it, and I'll repeat this again once we do the interview. But Toby was the only person that I trusted to direct this outside of me, just because of his directing experience in plays, and also me and his sense of humor is extremely similar. And I knew I was going to have to focus on acting, so I was like, Toby, I'm in so much of this movie. You should probably direct this. And since he was directing it, I could indulge on shrooms and not have to worry about setups or anything like that. In fact, I'd just be sitting out there in the grass waiting for them to say, "All right, Mitch, we're ready." And I'm like, "All right, here we go. Let's do it."
I just
no,
remember it being really hot and then it was really cold.
Yeah.
I remember that.
now this is really interesting that you did this because as far as that goes, because well, don't I don't really see you and your style as being like you're not one of these Kubrick directors. You're a director that feels like if it works for a upcoming scene, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, we're a jazz. We're jazz. Scat that, scat, 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 to that, to that, to that.
But you did co-write it. So I mean, I know you have your hand in this movie, not only as an actor, but I know you
I
co-wrote.
wrote most of it.
Yeah.
Toby threw in like 2 or 3 scenes that we needed to add to it. But we can get all into that later. But yeah, I did write a majority of it.
All right. Wow. So let's just catch up a little bit with you, man, before we get into the Rake investigation and the Bogman anthology, and your new makeup artist, which I thought you were bringing to today. I thought you were bringing a new talent today.
No, she was Esther was not available today. Are we live now? Are we doing this? Is
We've
this
been live. Yeah,
we've
we've
been
been
live
live,
this whole
brother.
time? Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we're having so much fun. Don't worry about it, man. We got you covered.
I was talking about shrooms and everything.
I love it, man. I love it. No, man, I just wanted to know how it felt. I want to know, did you sense any difference in the creativeness of it? Did you
Well,
find
whenever you're on shrooms the entire time, it's really easy to like drop your personal ego and just kind of like give yourself into the scene and the acting and the performance. Like it was very easy for me to drop Mitch Laing and become Richard Brooks, because by the time the shrooms kicked in, I was Richard Brooks.
Yeah, you love that character.
I really do. I love him so much, and I hate him so much at the same time. But because he's like the version of me that like I never let out type thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the reverse Mitch. You know, like everything that Richard Brooks is in real life, I'm the opposite of that. But whenever I get to play Richard Brooks, I get to do and say all the terrible things that run through my head that I put every effort to not say.
Yeah, but okay, but I mean, in terms of everyday life, or in terms on the set, because that is two very distinctive worlds. But you're not, but you're a very chill director, are you not?
I don't know, Drew, my pretty chill director.
Yeah, he's pretty laid back. I've heard him scream
Yeah,
maybe twice because people wasn't shutting up when we were
yeah,
on the show. So, that's
yeah.
what it is.
That's sort of exactly how I see it too. Yeah, that's how I see you too, Mitch. I don't see you yelling at anybody or flat or pushing your ego. In fact, I don't see you have I and all the discussions that you and I have had, I've never seen you flash your ego, not even for a split second.
But I will say this: the the two times that Drew has talked about me screaming on set, it wasn't that I started with the screaming. I started with the, "All right, quiet on the set.
Nobody
Right.
listens.
Hey, be quiet. Hey,
Yeah.
over in the corner, be quiet. Hey, shut the fuck up."
And I think
Right.
that one or two times was probably me talking too.
But though, I think that's if that's only a couple of times you've ever done that, I mean, you're ahead of the game. Sometimes people do, but sometimes do people probably feel a little bit they feel really relaxed around you and your style, so they
Well, I
tend to
mean,
they tend to go a little bit further than what they should.
whether you're directing, producing, or acting, or even fucking location managing like Drew has done. Like there are times that it's super stressful, and especially like with the rake investigation, we were like the first 6 days of shooting was triple degree weather the whole time, and the only respite that we had from the heat was a house with no electricity, but we managed to hook up a generator and put three window units into the house. So like we'd be out in the woods for 3 or 4 hours just dying, and then we'd run into this house, and there'd be like 30 of us split between the three window units, just standing in front of it trying to cool off so we didn't pass out from heat exhaustion.
I just got done talking to a crew yesterday. Uh, 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 Alex Pimento and his production company, and they shot in Colorado, and they were shooting under the same conditions, for 100-degree weather up in the mountains. It was just like, holy shit! I thought Colorado was supposed to be like springtime,
Yeah, it was
and
supposed to be cold.
yeah, it's supposed to be cold and
But here,
snowpacks and shit. And they're going like, no, someone forgot to tell the weather gods about that because it was hot as hell.
And
Yeah,
here,
what
every time I think about your movies and I watch your movie, it's the first thing true to God, I think about this going like, I wonder how hot it is over there when they're filmed. I I
well,
wonder
here
how
we
hot it is
have
extremely.
over.
4 seasons in one week normally. Like many weeks we've had 4 seasons in one week here.
Oh, we're gonna bring you into the fray here, Drew, because this is the first time you and I have met. So I guess while Mitch is sitting there, and yes, Mitch is the only guest that I give permission to smoke on screen, because the first time he was here, and I felt so bad for him. He's such a pro that I said I'm not going to make that poor bastard go through 90 minutes again. So I said, for now
You
on,
know,
you come on in and
Patrick, you
you
started
know.
something with that because I don't know if it was just you in particular or just my reputation that precedes me, but I've kind of had that reputation as being the smoking director guy. So like all the other podcasts that don't normally allow smoking or don't allow smoking in their studio, they let me smoke in the studio or smoke on camera. And I'm like, I don't know why y'all let me do this, but I'm not going to argue with it.
No, because I'm sitting there. I'm not sure if you saw the first interview that I did with Mitch Drew, but we were talking, just having a great time. And and I noticed getting close to, it's getting close to end, but I still got a few more minutes. But then all of a sudden, I just see he's just dying over there. He's just dying, and I'm going like, oh my gosh, he's got to go to he's got to go to the restroom. So I go ahead and I just finish it up. It's all right. So it says we're clear. I thought he was gonna run to the restroom, but no, he lit up and he was just Jones. Now, part of that, I'm like, man, that's just, because it just sucks, but I understand it a little bit, So, um, so
But I
yeah,
am very happy and proud to be one of the few cats making smoking cigarettes cool again.
that will never happen,
I'm on smoker
Mister.
myself. So.
Because now
That
everybody's
will.
smoking vapes, and I'm not for that at all.
It is weird going back though, right? You ever go back to see some of the old directors and you see them like just back in the 40, 30, 40s and 50s. Oh my gosh, I think that's part of the requirement on a resume. It's like, what's your resume? Well, I've directed 5 Oscar winners. My movies have made, $45 million this year, and I smoke. Okay, we're hiring you.
Well, I kind of feel like it was a doctor recommendation to smoke back in the 50s.
Oh yes. Yeah, you ever listen to the old police show called Dragnet? If
Oh
you go
yeah,
back there, yeah, and they have cigarette commercials on between. First they were pushing Fatima, and then they're pushing Chesterfields, and those commercials are just so fucking cheesy, and you're wondering how the hell do people actually smoke? Because these commercials are just goofy.
I'm just
But
waiting for Basic or Malibu or Montego to send me a sponsorship my way. I'll promote their shit. I'm smoking on camera. Like the Richard Brooks character smokes so much on camera now, like, which is so crazy because Drew pointed out to me, he was like, Mitch, Richard Brooks really didn't smoke or drink in the Bog Man. Did you notice that? And I'm like, yeah, I did. And he's like, no, he didn't. And I went back and I watched it. I'm like, I'll be damned, I did not.
you didn't smoke that much in the break investigation either. Not
But
really.
we did have that really fun bit with the drinking in the van where the doctor's trying to explain all the exposition about the rake, and I'm back in there drinking in the background, and he keeps
But that had,
snatching the
yeah,
drinks out of my hand.
that definitely fit the storyline. It's a fun storyline. It's a fun movie. It's a fun movie.
Well, the funny and strange thing about this, and Drew can back me up on this, is the rake investigation was not a movie that was on our scheduled anthology. Like it was not supposed to be a standalone movie.
It was going to be a short.
And you just pushed it out to full length.
Well, like it was actually supposed to be the third short in the Bog anthology movie. Whenever it was written and we started production, we thought we were starting production for the Bog anthology film. So, like at the same time that we're filming the rake investigation, sometimes on the same weekends we are filming the wraparound story with the Williams family for the Bog anthology because we all thought that this was all going to be a part of the Bog anthology. But once I got into the editing room and I started editing everything that we shot for the rake investigation, I realized that this was too long to be a short. It was like 50 minutes, and
Right.
it's like this. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? We can't put this in Bog Anthology. It's way too long. I wanted Bog Anthology to be between 80 and 90 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like I just I don't like making movies that are 2 hours long. You know, like I kind of feel like unless the story is in particularly gripping, which the Bogman movie was, like that movie was like an hour and 50 minutes, so it was pretty close to 2 hours. But it wasn't a movie that felt like it was 2 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, but I did not want to do a 2 hour long movie just because I didn't think we would be able to keep the audience gripped for the whole time. So I talked to the guys like, this is too long to be a short. What are we gonna do? Like, well, maybe we should hit up Green Apple and talk to them. And I hit them up and I was like, what we can do? This is like 50 minutes. You know, it's too long to be a short. It's too short to be a movie. What should we do? And their exact words were, well, y'all are creative. Y'all just come up with a different beginning and a different ending and just shoot a couple of new things. And if as long as y'all get it to 75 minutes, boom, another movie you got, and you're already ahead of the curve. I'm like, all right. So we
But did you have outsiders come in and to do the bog? Did you invite outside directors to come in and to do the Bogman anthology?
well, like so it was going to be the Bog Anthology was going to be three shorts that, and it still is. But in the initial thought process was it's three shorts. We should have three different directors, you know. And I can be there as the producer to make sure everything's kind of going in the same artistic type direction, but we give the each three directors their own leeway.
Right.
Um, so I was always going to direct the period piece for the Bog Anthology, the Bog Manifest. Daniel, since he was already working on the Honey Hole script and the second short, Face the Music, kind of paved the way for Honey Hole and introducing the Jin character and all that stuff. I was just like, hey, Daniel, you write and direct that short. And then it's like, okay, so the rake investigation, the third short, let's get somebody else to direct that. And that's whenever I was like, well, if we're going to get somebody else to direct that, the only option in my mind is Toby Otero. Because Toby has been working with us since Sea of Madness. He was the script supervisor on Sea of Madness, and he was like the assistant director on certain scenes. And like I said before, Toby is somebody who's our sense of humors are very very similar. And I was like, and I knew I was going to have to do a lot of acting in it, so I was like, if anybody else, it's got to be Toby to do this. So it was going to be me, Daniel, and Toby directing the three shorts, and obviously the Rake investigation became its own movie. So then we had to think of something else to fill the spot of the Bog anthology. And I was like, well, we got an alien movie coming down the pike. Let's go ahead and let's pave the way for that movie and introduce some of
Yeah.
those characters and introduce that lore now. So by the time the alien
Smart
movie
play.
gets there, we've already kind of laid the groundwork for that film in a sense. And I
Yeah,
ended up
smart play.
directing that short just because out of necessity, really, more than anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I sort of, I know you love the Bogman. I know definitely, but I admit, at the end of the Rake investigation, when they're recruiting you guys to go to work, for the, sort of like X Files type deal, I was pretty happy with that choice. I thought that was innovative. It was like, okay, we already had fun with our creatures, our Bogman, but we're more than a one trick pony here. So you go ahead and you lay the groundwork for, to me, endless possibilities. I mean, you guys could go anywhere you want to go now.
Yeah.
Well, we knew we had discussions about we wanted to present the Rake investigation movie in a different way than what the Bogman and Sea of Madness had been presented. You know, the TV crew was part of Bogman, but it was always just kind of like a subsidiary character. You know, it was just a
I have a question.
okay.
So for the reality show cameras, did you be honest with me? Did you guys pattern that after Bravo? Because it was fucking hilarious and spot on. Dude,
Uh, uh,
they have what they call reality stars, Bravo stars, I think they're called Bravo celebrities or whatever. These people who do these reality shows, they're now supposed to be considered stars, and they're just horrible people. But I saw that. I saw the different, like you guys coming together to do to do another reality show, and I was in the way they acted. I was like, someone's been watching some Bravo TV because this is spot on.
yes, I have a certain amount of knowledge on reality shows. I don't really follow them a whole lot, but I know what the formula is. If you've seen one, you've seen them all type thing. But one thing that we all kind of said once we realized we wanted to lean into the found footage and the documentary style, once we decided we were going to lean into that completely, the big reference we kept comparing it to is we were like, all right, so let's just go full The Office. Let's just film this like it's an
Yeah.
episode of The Office, but instead of working at a paper company, they're hunting a cryptid. And that was very much how we leaned into the jokes with the stand-ups and people like talking and interviewing and everything. We were very much trying to channel The Office.
Drew, so what's your role here with Mitch? I mean, are you and you mentioned social media? Are you the one responsible for getting the movies the publicity because it is sort of growing. I mean, you starting to hear people mention the Bogman. It is starting to grow a little bit. Are you responsible for that?
I met a random person the other day that said they knew who we were, and they're from like Dallas, Texas. I was like, okay, well that's nice. Somebody knows who we are. Um, yeah, when I started this was during the rake, uh, and they wasn't doing a whole lot of advertising before that point. So I took off with it. Never really had done it before, and studied up on some things and got really good at the social media stuff. And about 6 months later, by January of 20, what was it, 25?
Yep.
January 25, we had already, a million people already knew who Open Heart was, just about, running all the ads, and all that. So, and now at this point, uh, we've got pretty much 13 pages for the two different podcasts, the Shopify store, we got a website now that I've been working on.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm also a creator. I create most of the content you see online. I create all that. I'm an AI creator, and I also create my own things. Um, and I video and do the podcast, both podcasts, mine and my daughter's. Video, I'm going to do the sound, everything for that, the beginnings and the ends. I do location management sometimes. None of us really has one hat in this company. All of us do a lot of stuff. We do editing. We do all kind of stuff.
But
Now,
I
go
will
ahead.
I will brag on Drew for himself. He has been killing it on the social media and the publicity side. And it was one of those things in the beginning when I asked him to do it. He was like, "Mitch, I have no idea about anything like that." And I was just like, "You'll figure it out," and I'll be damned. Like, not only did he figure it out, he went beyond even what I thought he could do. Like, he went above and beyond. He's gotten He's gotten the movies out to millions of folks at this point, like just off of the back of his efforts,
And
and
our
he has been.
our podcast was out for 8 months, and now it's already on 2 networks. I mean, it's all over. You can pretty much stream it internationally now. So
So what's the podcast called, and what do you guys talk about?
it's the OHP podcast with Drew, and we started at the origins of Open Heart, and we're just talking about making the movies and filming in North Louisiana, and just talking with some of the cast and characters in some of the episodes, and we'll do like watch-alongs and commentaries, stuff like that. But once we catch up to the future to now, uh, then we'll start reviewing other people's movies and talking about other things like that too. So I think what we're at. We just got done with Unknown Strangers. We still got to do a watch along for that. But then
Yeah,
that,
like we're still at the watch along for the very first movie that Open Heart ever did. So
right.
there is plenty of content in the future for dozens of more episodes before we even catch up to where we're at now. So
Now, is your podcast like mine? Do you do it on YouTube?
Yeah, we normally just record ours. We don't never do it live. We record it and then edit it and then put it out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't even tried the live yet.
Might be a bit more family friendly that way.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, they got that option in there. You got to say whether it's cool for kids or not. Most of ours aren't.
That's the thing that blows my mind about the podcast is, me and Drew talk about this all the time. I'm like, I am me everywhere I go, and everything that I do. So I'm drinking on camera, I'm smoking on camera, I'm cursing like a fucking sailor the whole time. And then all these other networks keep wanting to pick up the podcast. I'm like, do they listen to it? Do they hear the things that I'm saying and the state of mind that I'm saying them in? Like, okay, all right, yeah, sure, let's keep going.
But it's cool to hear about people making movies anyway. I think it is. Even if I wasn't doing this, I think that was pretty cool. So
I would too. I did too. I mean, I started this. Through my. I had a blog. I had a blog on. I had a blog. Oh, is someone little one come?
Thanks. Yeah, Mitch's kid.
Oh, okay.
I got my children's.
You got you watching your kids?
Yeah, I have my children's this weekend. So I'm also being Mr. Dad right now, and everybody's arguing about what videos they want to watch, what games they want to play. Somebody breathed my air wrong, so now I have to give violence.
Basically, you're on set.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fuck on set. At least everybody's mature and like.
Oh yeah, your kids are Oh.
Hey, his kids are actors too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I have to. As far as the podcast go, so how can people find the podcast? Is this something that's on Apple computer?
Oh, it's okay. You can definitely find it on our official YouTube channel, Open Heart Productions YouTube channel, and then it's on Apple Music, it's on Spotify, it's on the Intune app, it's on the radio K-Air out of Houston, it's on the Rebel Without a Clue Media Network out of Little Rock, and let's see, the Garden Radio, and am I missing something, Mitch? There's something else, ain't it?
Now with your spreading network, has this made getting a budget, finding money for film, I know if you do a film campaign, has that helped out a lot by having a podcast network?
Not yet.
Well, the podcast has not been monetized yet. It's still growing. It's still building. You know that game, Patrick. You have to have so many
4,000
hours
watch
of viewing, and
4,000 watch hours is a lot.
Yeah.
And so all of this is always just a labor of love. Like In fact, like this whole podcast thing started out on a lark. Like Drew was over at the house and we were drinking beer and smoking and everything. He was like, "Man, we should do a podcast about the story of the film company and everything that's done." I'm like, "Do you have the stuff at your house?" He's like, "Yeah, I got the whole studio set up." I'm like, "Well, then fuck it, let's just go over there right now. What are we doing right now? Like, what we got going on? If we're gonna do it, let's just go do it." And it just started that same day.
Yeah. eight,
Nice.
8 months
It's
later.
just it really is that it really is that simple. Me, I was like I was just sitting there like, what do I do? Because I've been writing a blog, and I was like, what do I write about now? I had no idea what to write about. I was like, what do I write about? And someone says, why don't you write about movies? So I said, okay, I'll do that. And so that's what I did. I started writing movies, and then I got into the interview thing, and then I because my YouTube channel is only 6 years old. Oh, I say that like it's a small thing, but then I think about it like, wow, 6 years old, and it's like, okay, I've had some fun. Um, but yeah, the one thing too, Mitch, and you probably know this as well, Drew, but there's a lot of talent in your state, isn't there? A lot of filmmaking talent. Mitch has found two makeup artists that are elite class, and I was really bummed out when you told me the girl had quit films. Um,
Well, what a lot of people don't know about me and Mitch and most of us that are in the company that have been there for the longest, we're all musicians. That's how me and Mitch met. We were in a band together back in like late 2007, early 2008, and so we've met a lot of people, and we have a variety of friends, all around Washington Parish, and we're lucky to know people that we know. Is what I'm trying to say. And people have just reached out, and they come from all over just to come help us film now. Texas, down to New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette. I mean, just they all come out just to do what we do.
yeah, I was going to ask you how did you end up meeting Esther?
Through what we call in town church. Every Wednesday, a big group of the actors for Open Heart meet up every Wednesday morning and go drink and eat at a restaurant. And we all meet up, and they started inviting me to the church services. So we'd go out to the local Mexican restaurant and drink margaritas and eat chips and salsa. And one day, Dana and Benjamin brought this girl with them, Esther, this little fairy goth chick. And they're like, Mitch, you really need to talk to her. She's a makeup artist. She's done a lot of work for some of the haunted houses around here, and she's really good. And I'm like, okay. So I started talking to her. She started showing me examples of her work, and I'm like, okay. And really, like, I'll talk to anybody. Drew
Yeah,
will attest to this. I always tell anybody that I talk to the same thing. Anytime somebody is like, hey, I'm interested, I want to help out, I go, all right, cool. We're meeting up at this day at this time. If
But
you
what?
show up,
Yeah.
you're in.
But what do
If
you
you
have to bring to the table? That's the other question.
if you don't show up, I am not going to call you back. But if I tell you a time and a date and you show up, you are in. If you don't show up, I delete your number. And
right.
she was one of those that I said show up here at this time, and she didn't even know what she was doing. She just showed up with her whole makeup kit and was like, "What you want me to do?" And the funny thing was, I was like, "Actually, today we don't have anything for you to do." And she sat there on set all day with nothing to do, just enjoying her time being on set. And once we got done, I'm like, hey, I apologize. I'm like, listen, I'm sorry if it was boring. I just wanted to see, where your head's at. She's like, no, I loved it. I loved every second of it. I can't wait until I can do something. When you want me to come and do something? I'm like, all right, next time let's get the reptilian aliens fleshed out, and let's get all that worked out.
Oh
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she sent me a makeup test, and the makeup test was good, and I was like, all right, this will work. But then she showed up on the day of shooting with like these latex masks that she made and bald caps and all this other stuff that we had never even talked about. That she was like, I got some ideas. And then she did the alien makeup that I showed you. And I was like, that
oh
was
yeah.
just,
So
it was almost like a sketch off the top of her head. And I'm like,
I
that's
use
what
I use that as my banner for this interview. I use that because I thought it was such a kick-ass picture. I thought that's amazing.
it's
yeah, it
a pretty
literally
good.
looked like she was wearing a suit or something, but she wasn't. It was all paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's great. Now, is that going to be that the alien? We're going to see that alien. When are we going to see that alien pop up?
That's going to be in the rules that apply to abduction movie that we are currently filming right now. We have filmed 8 days. We have 8 more days to film. So we're technically at the halfway point, but also like I've been editing everything that we've been shooting as we've been shooting it, and we have the first 51 minutes of the movie cut together. So like, the scenes that we're shooting over the next 8 days are much smaller scenes because the movie's going to be about, I try to keep it about 90 minutes, 80 to 90 minutes at all times.
And a
So
little
it's going to
spoiler,
be an easy 90 minutes.
a little spoiler, I die in this movie. But
Uh,
nobody knows who I'm playing, so.
Now, do you get in front of the camera once in a while, Drew? I mean, are you
Yeah, we
strictly back?
all.
Huh?
I mean, most of our crew actually acts as well, and actually really good at it. Most of them are naturals.
Uh-huh.
Especially Mayor Rafferty, never acted a day in his life, and he's probably one of the best actors I think we have.
I tell you who stole the movie from me, the Rake investigation. Who stole it from me, and I really liked the. I really liked what I really liked too. And this is I guess we have to give credit to Toby for this. Um, what I thought was really really good and really made the movie really pop was you're doing the office setup. You go out there and you talk to somebody. They're in the camera, they're in the camera room or the whatnot, and they're telling their story, and you're just going along with it. And like so and so is not treating me right, or I that damn Richard, and everybody, and it kept on going like that. And the thing what it was like we didn't know until later on that the people were watching they've already crossed the River Jordan,
Yeah.
and you don't know that because you sit there watching them, and then you find out later on that they meet their demise, and you go like, oh, they still put them in the and they still put them in the recording room. I thought that was actually genius, and it also enabled for me to see my favorite character in the movie. And let's talk a little bit about this because I don't sure if he's an actor or not, but Robert Bench, who plays Stephen Tingle,
ah,
holy shit, that was the highlight for me. I thought he was really really good.
you should watch some of our interviews on our podcast with him.
I
He's
Bobby,
bet.
he's hilarious.
Bobby is all right. So Robert, he's Bobby to me. I've known Bobby for a very long time. Me and him worked at a TV station together 20 years ago. And Bobby is also an old school professional wrestler. He used to wrestle a lot in the 80s and 90s. He did curtain jerk matches for some of the bigger promotions. He was always the dark match, the beginning type thing. And he was always really good in the indies. And so I met him when I worked at the TV station. We became friends. He did a part in my first movie that I ever did, but then me and Bobby kind of fell out of contact with each other for a solid decade. Just
Mhm.
nothing like happened. No arguments. It's just life happened, and
Sure.
I didn't see him for 10 years. and we were doing these movies, and we bumped back into each other at like a gas station where we both were buying beer, and we were buying the same type of beer. And it was just like, hey, what are you doing nowadays? He's like, hell, man, I'm just working over at Walmart right now. I ain't got shit going on. I'm like, well, dude, I got this movie coming up, man. I need a producer to die. Do you want to do that? Hell yeah, man. I ain't got nothing I'm doing, man. Let's go on and do this. And the funny thing was that, to me, where Bobby shines the most is the interview segments.
Yes.
Like those
Yeah, he's
those
funny
are
in those.
the times that his performance, I think, really shines, and he is something special. But I gotta tell you, there is a big difference between, because whenever we're doing these interviews, one thing you gotta understand: those interview segments were not scripted.
No,
None of them.
I didn't think, I didn't get the impression that any of that was, as far as the Rake investigation. I really didn't get the feeling that it was any of it was written. It felt very much like a improvised. Like you told him that, hey, here's the premise. You know what it is. Go with it,
Well,
which I
what we
think
did
worked.
was we waited until we had everything shot. Like, so we had all been on set and we had all filmed the scenes, and we were, by all intents and purposes, done with the movie. And then me and Daniel would go to these guys' homes and set up to do these interviews. And they're like, all right, so what do you want me to say? I'm like, well, you were there. Like
Yeah.
you were there while all these scenes happened. I'm going to ask you questions about what happened in the story, and y'all just tell me based off of your character and your understanding of the character. You give me your answer off that. You are the character right now, so answer these questions as the character based off of what you remember from what we did. And with Bobby, it was so easy because he was a wrestler. So, like, whenever we got to do the interview segments, all I had to tell Bobby was, all right, Bobby, I need you just to cut a promo for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah,
And
that's a
and
good way
that's
of
what
doing
he
it.
did, is he cut a fucking promo. Now, Bobby on interview sets cutting a promo, and then Bobby on set where he had to remember lines and give those lines in a performance with everybody else was a different story. Um, Bobby was super, super nervous whenever it came to being on set and with everybody else, because like everybody else was so natural. I guess he might have felt a little intimidated, like, oh, how am I gonna like? I remember at one point in time he was just pacing around at the woods just trying to remember two lines. He was
Yeah.
just repeating the same two lines over and over. And then when we went to film it, he still messed it up and was like, fuck, fuck. I'm like, calm down, Bobby, calm down. I just need you to
Right.
say the line, dog. You don't, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. This whole answer, call, and response with the other actors. Let's just get shots of you saying your lines. All I need you to do is say the fucking lines, dog. I'm the editor. I will make this shit fucking work. I just need you to say the fucking lines without stopping and going, fuck! And he did. And it might have taken 6 different takes that I pulled from to get one scene, but it worked, and his facial expressions, especially during his acting scenes, were amazing. Ben talked about how Bobby stole the scene from him sitting back behind him just reacting.
Yeah, that facial expressions, yes.
Yeah. So whenever it came to being on set with Bobby, it was a little bit like pulling teeth, but we could get it. But once you got Bobby in a situation to where he didn't have to memorize lines and could just be the character and ad lib and go for it, you saw it yourself. He fucking
Yeah.
shined. And that whole Lou Ferrigno thing was something that he came up with, And whenever, since he was one of the first people we interviewed, I made sure to tell the other guys, like, hey, mention something about this Lou Ferrigno thing so that we can edit it all together and it's, be coherent.
Okay. Okay. Now, are you gonna? I know it looked like his character might have met his end in the Rake investigation, but you know how that rolls. Is he going to be coming back for the Alien for the new movie?
Well, Bobby, even though that character died in the Rake investigation, we did bring him back in the Bog anthology because there's a period piece where we travel back in time so we can have everybody that's died in all the other movies come back because now this is like their ancestor type thing.
Okay.
So we had him come back and do that. We had him do another small part in another short in that same movie. Um, and we did have him come back for Honey Hole, but he played one of the monsters, so he was in a full bodysuit the whole time, so you never saw his face. So like yeah, like even if you're in another movie with us before, like we'll find ways like that. Like we'll make you the monster. You'll be in a full suit. Nobody will know what you look like, but you'll still be in the movie type thing.
Yeah, just like me, I got thrown in it like 3 days before, I think, in that movie. It was like, hey, by the way, you're going to play this part. I was like, okay, thanks.
Now you don't mind, but I mean, you know how it rolls, right, Drew? I mean, if it need you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
okay. So let's talk a little bit about this because that movie's going into post production, Honey Hole. So talk to us a little bit about that. What can you tell us about Honey Hole? Where the story come from? Who's in it? When are you expected to have it released?
Oh man, I can tell you all kinds of crazy shit about that fucking movie, and I'm sure Drew
Yeah,
can chime in here. But I will say this:
it was
out of
interesting.
all the movies that we have done so far, Honey Hole was my least favorite to film.
Really?
Yes. Um, Honey Hole, we were trying to be super ambitious in the sense that Honey Hole was going to be the first movie that we did where all of the main characters in that movie were name actors. And
Oh,
we
okay.
did a big Indiegogo campaign that pulled together the 6 grand that we needed to hire all of these name
Yeah,
actors. And we did. We had some
yeah.
amazing
I'm looking at
actors. We had
yeah. I'm looking at the list right here. There's some people who have done some movies. Looks like
Yeah.
you had a couple of wrestlers in here.
yep. We had
Okay,
Hick
okay.
Cheramy from Mayfair Witches came and worked with us. We had
Jason.
William Enstone from Butcher's Bluff and Goldilocks come and work with us. We had the guitar player for Green Jello come. We had some WCW wrestlers come. And we hired, I'm not
Jason.
going to say the name, but we did hire a B-list name SAG actor to be the lead character of the movie who is in every scene basically. And this actor had done some big blockbuster movies and some decent indie movies. And he was charging us pennies on the dollar to come and film with us for 7 days. And so he showed up, was staying at my house, and we filmed 3 days of the movie, and everything was going great. And on the third day, we were out over at Richard's land, our art department guy, his little 15 acres of land that every time you see something out in the woods, that's Richard's land. And
Okay.
Richard lives away from everything. Like, even people that have been to his house numerous times still get lost sometimes going out to his place. And he's got 15 acres out in the middle of nowhere. Like, there's no, and this actor wasn't from here. There's nothing out there. There's nowhere to go. And we were out there filming, and we had to do like a production meeting after we wrapped before he took well after he took his makeup off. And after we finished the production meeting, we're like, all right, where's the actor at? Hey, bro, where you at? Couldn't find him. We searched all the vehicles, all the trailers, the house, all the
He got
places we had
lost.
been filming out there. Couldn't find him. Once again, this is in the middle of nowhere. There's nowhere to go. And we couldn't find him. So we had to drop everything we were doing, and the entire crew of 30 people were out in the woods searching for this guy because the
Wow.
makeup artist said, oh, he was complaining about having low blood sugar earlier. So he
Oh,
might be passed out in the middle of the woods somewhere for all we know. We're calling his wife, trying to get his life 360 so we can figure out where the fuck he is at. After an hour and a half of searching, we still ain't found him. And I'm like, listen, guys, it has reached the point we have, I'm not usually the guy that does this, but we got to call the cops.
yeah.
We got to call the police. We got to get the police out here. We got to get a missing persons report. This ain't like one of our meth head homies disappeared. This is someone that fucking matters. And like, we can't just lose a name actor out in the woods. So we called the cops, explained the situation. This is this name actor. He's been in this movie, in this movie, in this movie. He's disappeared. We have no idea. We need help. They showed up 15 deep in 5 squad cars and was searching that fucking property like it was a goddamn serial killer investigation. And 2 hours after that, still hadn't found him. All of a
Oh,
sudden, I get a Facebook message from him saying, hey, I'm on a bus heading back home. I can't finish the movie.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. Didn't he sign a contract?
There was a contract sent to him, and I never
Oh,
got a returned signed copy of it.
yeah.
But that worked in our favor because, all right, I'm going to tell you what we did to fix it before I tell you the aftermath. All right.
All right.
I had everybody in the crew with the cops there, and he's not coming back. The crew's looking at me. Half the crew's from out of state or from out of town. They're like, Mitch, what are we doing? Do we go home? What's the plan? And I'm like, I don't know. Show up on set tomorrow as if nothing is wrong, and I'll have something figured out by then. And I went home. It was 3:30 in the morning by the time I got home. I bought a 6-pack of beer on the way home. I drank the entire 6-pack, trying to think of what am I gonna fucking do here. Finally went to bed at 5, woke back up at 8:30, had to be on set by 10. I'm driving to set at 10 a.m. at 9:45, still thinking, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. And I'm thinking, you know what? If I get there to the set early enough and I get there before everybody else, maybe I can buy myself an extra 15 minutes to think about a solution.
Well, Didn't he call his wife? I have a feeling I know who it is. Is it initials ER?
No.
Oh, okay. Uh,
I'll
so
tell you off screen.
yeah. Wow. So but you try to, wow, I'm just trying to figure out like you got half the shoot done. I mean, all that money. I guess I mean I don't know. Could you write somebody like that out of the movie or
We
like
couldn't because he was in
yeah.
every scene. Every
The,
scene we
the
had already
replacement
shot.
was better. The replacement was better. I
And
believe.
so I got to set, and the 2 cameramen had already beat me to set. And as soon
Oh,
as they saw me park, they started walking to me, and I know that they wanted to know what the game plan was.
sure.
And as they're walking to me, I still didn't know what I was going to fucking do or say. But as they're walking to me, one of the cameramen was a guy named David Hanks. And David on set the past 3 days had been a source of just comedy relief the whole time, because David has this very self-deprecating Eeyore with a rain cloud follow him type sense of
Yes,
humor.
exactly.
And he would say things in between takes that would have us laughing so hard, but also make us feel bad that we're laughing because he's saying mean things about himself. And I also knew that David had some acting experience doing a couple of other major movies and had done a whole bunch of plays. So as he's walking towards me, it just hits me like, oh, David's here. He's going to be here the whole time. Ask him if he'll play the lead. And he made it
Wow.
to me and said, hey, David, you want to play the lead? And he was like, uh, yeah, I guess. All right, cool. We were supposed, the next 3 days were supposed to be half days that we had with the other name actors that were coming in, that we were just basically trying to get their scenes. So they were half days.
Right.
So I was like, all right, guys, we're no longer doing half days. We're doing double time, full days. And every time we're not filming a scene that's supposed to be on the schedule with one of the name actors, we're going back and we're refilming everything we've already filmed now with David. And that's what we did for 4 more days. We
Thank
shot
God
our
for digital.
schedule and then reshot everything else.
Thank God for digital cameras, right?
Right?
Yeah, and I think he did a lot better, honestly, than that person. Uh,
I think so too, because David played it very sad. He played it very self-deprecating. He played it like Eeyore, and the other guy played it like he was on meth
yeah.
the whole time. So it was like a difference between meth and heroin,
Hey,
but
we
the
also
heroin was
we also had
self-deprecating.
Jason Kirkpatrick was in our movie too. He's from The Walking Dead, True Detective. What was that other one?
He
Dune
was he was
Patrol.
in Dune Patrol. He was in Stargirl. He was in the Room. Like, he's done a lot of really awesome stuff. And he came back and worked with us for 3 days and killed it. Like, he actually, if I'm being honest, he probably gave some of the best performances out of anybody on that movie, just because he was one of those actors that can cry on command every take and
Mm.
could get emotionally to that point naturally every take and would cry at the same spot every
Wow.
time. And it was just one of those moments. I'm like, man, these people are too good to be working with us.
Hey, and he's a good person. He's an awesome guy in person. I actually took him out on the town one night, and it was
Well, you
very
know what? I mean, even the guy who walked off, even the guy who walked off, the fact that I'm sure if he'd been paid his full rate, he wouldn't have walked off. But the
Well,
fact that the guy came in,
the funny thing was, is all right. So he left after 3 days, right? And after we got done filming, a week after we were done filming, his wife hit me up wanting to know when he was going to get paid his money for the 3 days that he worked. And I told him, like, I'm sorry,
no,
darling, but all of that money that we were going to pay him, we had to pay another actor to play that role, and we had to film an extra day because of y'all. So all of that money we were going to pay him went to fixing the problem that
exactly.
y'all created. And they're like,
yeah,
oh, we're going to sue y'all. We're going to do this, this, and
why?
this. I'm like, you
He didn't sign the
can
contract.
if you want to, but this is Louisiana, and Louisiana is an employee favored state. If you are an employer, if you employ people, you get way more leeway and way more rights than anybody else.
Yeah,
And in Louisiana, you can be fired on for any reason.
it's an
It
at
doesn't
will.
have to be justified.
It's an
You
at
can be
will thing.
fired for any reason and you can't bitch about it. And it's even easier whenever you leave the set and
Yeah,
cause us damages from your actions, there is, I told him, like, there is not a single judge in this entire state that would rule in y'all's favor. You can spend the money to file if you want, and I'll show up with my police reports, and I'll show up with my eyewitness statements, and we'll see what the judge says. But I promise you, it's not going to work out for you. And I never heard from him again after that.
Plus no contract. Contract wasn't signed. Even though it's a verbal contract, it might not always work out that way. And well, everybody knows you can't really just do a verbal contract, for a movie production. You got to have that shit signed. I was actually thinking about the cops myself. I'm going like, they were out there for an hour and a half, 15 cops. I'm sure. How did you get out of that with them charging you? I mean, did you tell them like, well, I mean, that must have been really hard thing. Well,
the answer to that is, what were they going to charge us for? Like, we had somebody missing and we called them for help.
We didn't even have proof that he was there besides the cameras.
It's not our fault that he left and didn't say anything. We were doing our due diligence that any responsible person would do if someone went missing. And we kept all of those police reports.
How did he get to the bus? Okay, how did he get to the bus station?
He walked or something. He walked to the main road and then called a fucking Uber and got the Uber to drive him to the bus stop.
Oh my God.
So
Uber. Wow.
So his wife was going to leave him if he didn't come home, pretty much is what he said. Yeah.
Brother. Oh, brother. Like he might as well just retire from the business if that's what I
kind of think he did. I think
people tried to warn us, man. People tried to warn us about him too. Is the bad thing, and we just still let him come,
But I will say this. I'll say this, like, there was no way you were going to talk me out of using him before the movie started because he was a name. He was willing to do it for our price. So there was no way you were going to talk me out of that. Even the people warning us, hey, he's going to do this, this, and this. You weren't going to talk me out of it. But
now you know different.
But if that had not had happened, we would not have discovered the gem that is David Hanks.
Exactly.
Like his acting that he...
Wait, David Townsend.
David, well, that's what it's... Yeah, yes. Townsend is the name, is his stage name. David Townsend. But we would never have given him a shot if that had never happened. We probably would have put him on camera because we, like Drew said, we put everybody on camera at some point in time. Someone doesn't show up and we look around and go, hey, this person didn't show up. Do you want to play it? Cool. Get up here. So we would have probably eventually put him on camera. But had that not have happened, we would not have given him such a meaty main role. And he took that and he killed it.
I was going to ask you, Drew. So while this was going on, what was your role in this? Like the talent walked off the set. I mean,
I honestly think that I was one of the few ones that had already left for the night. I think we left earlier, because we had some other drama going on. But anyways. Yeah,
more drama.
It is, but we ain't gonna talk about that on here. but I think
I'm trying to think of who this guy is, and I got like two names, but I'm gonna wait till afterwards. I have a feeling I'm gonna get it right. I don't know why. I just think I do. I think I will.
You may have seen
but then again, this follows the pattern, right? Like you have discovered a lot of new faces. Like you discovered the first makeup girl,
Brie.
What? Okay, we touched upon this briefly when you and I were talking, and she said, and you told me that she decided just to stop. did you ever find out the reason why she decided to quit when she had that much talent? I mean, it's frustrating to me to see that. It's frustrating. When you
Well,
told me that she quit, I was very frustrated when I heard that.
Bree is a very reclusive personality.
I think most
Um,
makeup artists are, though, aren't they?
she is an artist, and part of the thing about artists is we're all strange. You know, we're all strange at some bit, and she, it was one of those things that every time we would hit her up to shoot something, she always had scheduling conflicts, and it kind of got to the point to where it's like, okay, I get you have
Yeah.
scheduling conflicts, but we still have to have someone to do this. You know, like I'm a very
Yeah.
understanding person, but we still got to have someone to do this. And if you can't do it, we need to find someone that can. And like, it's kind of like one of those things. Like when I tell people, show up at this day at this time, and they show up that you're in. Same thing. If you do show up and you're in, and I hit you up, and after 4 or 5 times I ask you to show up, and you can't do it, I just kind of stop
Yeah.
hitting you up after that. You know,
No, I totally understand. I totally understand. You know, you're totally justified in doing that. But I'll say this, you know, in case she ever hears it. But Bree, man, if you hear this, don't give up. I mean, get back into the game. I mean, if you have to move to a different town or whatever, you know, do so. But man, that girl was talented as fuck. You saw. I don't know if he saw this, Drew. I'll send this to you, or I have Mitch send it to you. But she did an interview with me, and while she was talking, she fucking made this massive makeup on her hand, like it looked like a burn or something while she was talking, and
Okay.
it looked so damn good. I'm just sitting there going like, man, Mitch, you know, that's when the legend of Mitch, you know, like there's another cat that I talked to. His name is Joe Leone. He's also a filmmaker out of Boston, New York and Boston, and he has that way of finding actors, or more specifically actresses. He finds some amazing talent. I don't, you know, you're like, how did you find this person? And it just happens. And it's just, you know, when you mentioned Esther, it says, "Oh, we got one even better," and I'm like, "Holy shit! How do you do it?" Um, and congratulations, because that's when you sent me the picture. That's where I saw the alien picture. I'm going like, that's freaking amazing.
Yeah, if
That's
we
got to
could
be
get them
such a
together, both of them would be awesome.
having that much of a talented crew around is it's got to be a real blessing.
It is.
it is. It really is. And it takes so much pressure off. Like I like this, you know, the movie rules that applied to Abduction. Like when we started shooting production on it, the first weekend especially, like I remember looking around and I'm like, oh my God, this is the first movie that we've done that there is literally there is a person for every single department that
Mm.
they're supposed to have. Like, you know, like so many of us wear, like Drew said, we wear different hats, and we'll wear 2 or 3 different hats on the production. But this was like the first time that we looked around and like, oh my God, everybody's wearing one hat, and everybody is in charge of just this one part of the production, and everybody's making it work smoothly and efficiently. And we brought in an assistant director, a young woman named Savette, and she ended up being the MVP. She kept us on schedule. She kept Daniel moving along, which is something that I didn't think was possible.
She made us feel complete,
Yeah,
literally.
she made us feel like
She
we were a
really made us
complete,
feel
real production crew.
all right.
Okay. Okay. Now I guess moving forward, right? I mean, now I know you did the shroom things for the rate for the for the rate investigation, but that's something we're not going to repeat for the next film, though, right?
Well, technically, we've already we like since the rake investigation. Technically, we've shot 3 more movies since then, and I wasn't on shrooms on any of those other movies.
No, no,
So
you won't.
uh,
Um,
I
I'm
think
just
I
gonna
was on
say, I'm
shrooms
just gonna
for a
say,
little bit during the Honey Hole film, just because it was like during like the mass reshoot stuff, and like
oh,
whenever we were reshooting everything, there were no more breaks. Like even whenever the food came, you held the food in your hand and you ate it while you're filming, and the actor like in between takes would eat the food. Like there were no more breaks. It was just keep filming. We got to refilm everything. And
wow.
one of the production assistants showed up with some of those gas station shroom gummies, and I was particularly ran ragged on that day, and I was like, "Fuck it, man, just give them to me, man." And so
Give it
I
to
ate
me.
some that day, and I think it did help with the directing a little bit. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Drew, was
I
I
did.
fucked up?
I mean, you have been on some sets, but not always now.
Oh my gosh. So the honey hole is that's gonna be coming out when?
Well, the Bog anthology is going to be coming out before it. We're completely done with the Bog anthology right now. Like we're in the
Okay.
process of sending the deliverables to Green Apple right now, so
Okay.
that will come out. The most recent one, and it'll more than likely come out at the beginning of next year. And if we continue on the deliverable process as we have been, Honey Hole could be out by middle of next year.
Okay. Okay. Now, is there going to be is there going to be any secret surprises in that movie as far as star power goes, or
Honey Hole?
yeah, I mean,
Well, yeah, like
yeah. Well,
besides,
no, I mean, besides, I'm no, I'm talking about the Bogman anthology. I mean, you have 3 different stories. Are you going to bring in? Is there going to be any name actors in that to advance? Because you've
well,
had
Jason Kirkpatrick from The Walking Dead and True Detectives, that was his first time working with us, was filming his scenes for that. So he's going to be at the end of that movie. We had
okay,
William Enstone from Butcher's Bluff and Goldilocks play the gin. We had Jessa Flux come back and play
oh good,
the waitress in
Yeah.
the second short. Um,
good,
and we had Larry Schultz from Hawaii Five O and Magnum PI and the live action Lilo and Stitch play the main Indian that
That's
works
my
with
best friend.
us.
My
Yeah,
best
that's
friend's
Drew's best friend.
and how I really the story of how I got into doing the movies with Mitch and them was through Larry actually. So
all right. Well, we have hit our mark, as they say in the business. I want to go ahead and thank you guys for coming out. For sure. I can't wait for the Bogman to come floating through. Honey Hole sounds like one that needs to be circled on the calendar as well.
Let me give you a
Especially,
little pitch about about Honey Hole. All right, when it
sure.
comes to Honey Hole, picture the movie Wishmasters, Stephen King's Thinner, but a fishing movie.
yeah,
Okay. I want to catch a 50-pound catfish. All right.
yeah. Hey, you have to throw it back though.
And you can't throw it back.
Oh, you wait till you see the movie and you'll understand.
If you don't
Okay.
throw the fish back in the pond, you're cursed.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So it's definitely a pro release movie. I like it.
right.
Yeah. Don't be just because you know what? When I was growing up, one of the saddest things to see were people that would catch carp. They'd catch carp, and then they throw it on the bank of the river. This is before the invasion. This is in California, but people didn't like carp, but
And
they
we've
would catch
got
it.
some
And
full body suit monsters in Honey Hole that look
nice.
amazing, that were made by an amazing filmmaker named Maximilian Hatcher. Like he built these suits out of scraps, but they are some of the most impressive looking suits. There's like a big catfish suit and a big alligator suit. Like it's so awesome. Am I lying, Drew?
No, that's pretty awesome.
See, everybody. The first thing, if you mention to people about about fishing, about aquatic life, when they talk about Louisiana, you can tell someone who actually knows Louisiana because most people will say gators, and but the people who really do understand Louisiana, they'll be the ones. They'll be the ones like me who sit there saying catfish. So
Catfish.
that's right.
Okay.
Our Lady Val says, but independent filmmakers give us some of the best films. No studio cramping their imagination and vision for their stories. Yeah, that's right. That's right. A lot of it's like that's something I'm sure you appreciate the fact that you guys can do your own movies on your own time and your own budget at your own pace.
Which
Um,
is no budget.
yeah, I'm just thinking about. I'm just thinking about. I was reading about Kane Parsons from A24. So could offer him. And initially, you look at that and sit there and say, "Wow, that's just awesome." But if you think about the pressure put on him, maybe not so much. So maybe too much too soon. But they're going to offer him a multi-million-dollar deal for a three-picture.
Hey,
Um,
I welcome that kind of pressure.
I,
Please pressure
yeah.
me with $3 million.
How about 30?
no, 65.
There you go.
65. They're gonna offer him $65 million for a three-pitcher deal.
Somebody
And
please offer me $65 million for 3 pitchers. I'll give them 10.
All right.
all right. As we go ahead and to the chat, I want to say thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thanks for
Lady
having
Valerie, Doc Kaiju, Tony was here. I don't know how to say that name, so I'm gonna sit there and say Tony's friend. We'll be back here next. Supposedly, we're supposed to be back here next Tuesday with musician Jay McTaggart. And then on the 22nd, we have DJ Patton and Amanda Megan. They'll be here on the 22nd. On the 23rd, we have Kenyon Texas Henry on the 23rd. And then a week from tomorrow, we'll have our very good friend Miss Monique Parent will be here with us. You guys, thanks so much. Stay right there. We'll talk
I
a little
look
bit on
forward
camera.
to seeing your rake investigation review.
That comes out at 12. That
Awesome.
drops at 12. Yeah, I gave it I was honest. I'm honest. I definitely and tell me what you think of it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that you want to send me some swag, no. But thank you so much for coming in, and we'll talk a little bit off camera. And again, thanks again for your support in the chat. Without you, I wouldn't be here. And we'll see you soon. Peace.
Bye, guys.